Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Andrew Byrne here. How's it going? Today we're doing a little singing, so I hope you all are ready to do that. We're going to do a 20-minute-ish legit vocal warm-up. So I thought about this class a lot this week. The challenge is I got to tell you why we're doing this stuff a little bit in this call. This is kind of an instructional call. So we're not going to do the exercises just back to back. So if you want to do that, what I did was I made a page for it. I recorded the ones we're going to do today and made sheet music for it too. So the link is in the chat here if you want to see it. It says facebook.com Andrew Byrne Studio. You can go ahead and click on that. And then you just write the word legit under the post that's there. And then you'll get forwarded to the page that has all this stuff on it. Especially if you like these warm-ups, but you just think, I want to just do them back to back. You can just get the tracks there. You can do it as a vocal warm-up for yourself. Should take you about 20 minutes when you go straight on through it. Before we get going, I'm just going to do a little audio check here. So I'm on my my keyboard. Can everyone hear that okay when I'm playing it? Just give me a yay or nay in the chat so I know this is coming through okay. We getting that? Someone give me a little comment just so I know we're hearing okay. Hello from Phoenix in Texas. Yes, we're hearing it. I assume that means yes, we are hearing the sound. Hopefully that is true. I'm going to start going, and if you can't hear it, just let me know. So good. Yes, we are getting the sound. That is good news. So we'll talk just briefly about what legit singing is. Some of you may be really familiar with this. Some of you may not be. The basic idea is legit voice comes out of the tradition of classical singing. Originally opera, which started around 1600 in Italy. And so it's a long standing tradition. If you don't know what it is, you can think about like Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. The hills are alive. That's a legit vocal quality. And even if you don't think that's your goal, if you think, you know, I'd rather be in musicals like Hamilton or Mean Girls or whatever, it's still a good quality to work on because there's muscles in your voice and there's a balance of them. So this is my little model of my throat. So I made this. This is a larynx. I made this out of the cover of a notebook, you know, one of those like flexible notebook covers. So I made it because I wanted something that we could move. And I'm going to tilt it just so y'all can see where the vocal cords are. These little things I made in there, they're elastic in this model. And so basically we've got a muscle that pulls like that. And that's this little crack where my fingers are there called cricothyroid. It pulls the larynx that way. And that thins out the vocal cords and that thins and elongates them. And so in speech, it's this kind of a quality. If I speak to you like this, now I'm using this muscle, the cricothyroid muscle. And if any of you have done opera, you may know some opera teachers who even speak like that, who tell you, hello, how are you? And they speak in this way. So we want to have some strength there because that stretches the vocal cords. It elongates them. It thins them out. So even when you're belting, sometimes that will be good to do because it gives your belt a little lighter quality. And it's still used in musicals all the time. Like this quality is still heard. And so today we're going to focus on 8 exercises that go through this. And I'll just show the sheet that I made for you here. So this is on the page I built for you if you want to download it. It just takes you through the idea of this, but I'm going to talk you through the sheet today. So we're going to start with what's called a lip buzz. So everyone needs to go like this. And just blow some air through your lips. If this feels really hard, it's because your lips are too spread. So take your hands on your face, smush it in a little bit like this. So we're trying to keep an airflow going through our lips. If this feels impossible for you, you can try a rolled R, which is this, the tip of my tongue up, or your tongue out like this, and blow air through your tongue. The idea of all these is to start low pressure so that we are splitting the vibration between our lips and our vocal cords. They're both vibrating. And when two things vibrate, the pressure goes down. That's necessary for using your voice. So if we try it, let's go through our range. Let's go up and down on a lip buzz or a tongue buzz. So like this. And you go up and down through your range. Okay. And now we're going to try to put it on pitch like this. Let's keep going. One more. Great. So I'm just going to put in the chat one more time the link if you're just getting here now. So this is the link to the post on my Facebook business page. It's the first thing up there. You can also just go to Andrew Byrne Studio on Facebook. You'll see it the first thing there. So why I did that is because I got a lot of people on this call. Everyone's got a different voice. So I'm going to do these exercises in the middle range of voice because I don't know y'all and where you need to be. So you need to get these tracks because I made a lot more keys there. So you need to experiment with your own voice of what your highest and lowest is. So that's the way you're going to do it. Go and get those tracks on the site. So for now, we're going to stop that one. So that's the lip buzz, which is to keep the pressure low as you start your warm up. Now move on to ooh and e. So everyone say a pure ooh like this, ooh. And you can see in the camera, my larynx goes down. Ooh, ooh, it drops a little bit. And then e, we're going to say E right now without going like this, E. Depending on where you're from, you may or may not do that. Americans go like this, E. We widen our mouth. Widening is going to make more chest voice. Narrowing will bring more head voice. So we're going to sing like this, ooh, E. Everyone try that, ooh, E, with round mouth like that. So the pattern we're going to use is this. Ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee. Try to imitate my mouth. Ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee, ooh, ee. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh-wee. 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 So vowels are a pitch, they are a note, and you can hear it if you hold your breath and you flick under your chin here. So I'm going to do it for you. I'll hold my breath, and I'm going to mouth E-A-A-O-U. Listen up. And you can hear those notes change. If you want to try that, you hold your breath. And you can hear that E and U have a low pitch. It goes E-A-A-O-U. So the E and the U have what's called a low first formant. And that just means that you can take your head voice down further in those vowels. So this pattern, ooey, 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 is how you start to warm your head voice up. So that's exercise 2. So our first two things are that we are starting low pressure with some kind of lip buzz. Then we're using U and E. You can use the pattern I just showed you or something else that you love in your voice. Now we're going to do laryngeal height. So I'm a guy, so it's pretty easy to see right here. If you watch me yawn, you can see my larynx go down, yeah? Cool. And so when we sing legit, this needs to be relatively a little bit lower. It doesn't have to be all the way in the basement, but compared to belting, it's usually going to be a little bit lower in most people's throat. And more importantly, it's going to be stable. It's not going to move around a whole lot. So because it's pretty easy to see on me, I'm going to show you in this exercise on an ooh. I'm going to go ooh, 1 3 1, do mi do if you know your solfege, and I'm going to keep this in the same place. I'm going to tilt my head just so you can see it in the light. Ooh, it's staying in place. Y'all try that. Ooh. If you're a female and you have trouble figuring out where to be, you're probably going to be on the cricoid cartilage, which is this little guy in the bottom there. Sticks out a little more anatomically for you. So just something you can monitor. Ooh. If you feel this, ooh, where it jumps up like that, that's not good for legit. It's going to make your throat smaller and maybe a little bit tighter. Ooh. And you go up in half steps. Ooh. 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 I'm going to jump up a little higher. So there's this idea called the passaggio, which is the Italian word for passageway. It's where the head and the chest change. So for females who do a lot of belting, the passaggio will feel like it's usually around like G to B flat in here. For males, it's usually around D, E flat, E, F, depends on your voice. But we're going to do a couple in the passaggio for females, which is here. Ooh, ooh. And now we're getting into the passaggio for males. Ooh, ooh. And you can keep going up, up, up like that. Eventually, the larynx has to come up a little bit. It's not going to stay exactly in the same place, but we're trying to minimize that in this particular exercise, a more stable position for the larynx. So that's number 3. So we've got low pressure start, U and E, and then we're going to do this stable larynx stuff. The next one is to use Italian vowels. Maybe some of you guys have studied Italian. You can do vibrato. Somebody said, yeah, the vibrato is fine. It can be on or off, whatever's easiest for you. I do it with it myself. So now Italian vowels. So repeat after me. E, A, O, U. So those are the Italian vowels. I think everybody should study Italian arias, even if you're never going to be a classical singer, because they teach you to make the right vowel positions. And if you think about American English, we go A, E. You can see in the A, right? My tongue goes through a diphthong, 2 sounds. A, and then O also. O. I'm making 2 sounds. That messes with the thing we did earlier, because now I'm making 2 vowels, not 1 vowel. I got to make 1 vowel. So I got to at least vocalize with Italian vowels in mind. Say it again. E, A, O, U. It's going to feel kind of like Canadian, for lack of it, or like northern US, like Minnesota. A, O. It's kind of like that position. So the pattern we're going to do is this on V, Ve, Va, Vo, Vu. Listen up. V, Ve, Va, Vo, Vu. 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 And notice my lips are staying in, right? I'm not going V, Ve, Va. I'm using the roundness of my mouth. So if your hands are clean, you can hook your fingers in like this. And you can pull your lips to the center while you pull out with your fingers. So I'm strengthening this muscle around here. V, Ve, Va, Vo, Vu. You got to make that shape. You got to show me your top teeth. Do it one more time. V, Ve, Va, Vo, Vu. So top teeth are showing, yeah? If you got that, try a Z sound. Z, Ze, Za, Zo, Zu. Z, Ze, Za, Zo, Zu. Z, Ze, Za, Zo, Zu. Z, Ze, Za, Zo, Zu, etc. Okay? So Z is a good consonant because you got to raise your tongue. You got to lift your tongue up to make that Z. So you got V and Z. They're vibrating consonants. They vibrate, which means they draw vibration into the front of your face where you need it for singing. So we got that Italian vowels. That's number 4. Number 5 is to work on your onset and offset. So if everyone goes like this, ha, 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 and start and stop like that on the word ha with a very small h, ha, 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 ha. It's called a staccato in music, a separation. This exercise is not a complete staccato, but we got to stop and start a few times. And that works on the idea that the start of the note is the hardest part for the voice. And the second hardest part is the end of the note. So we got to practice stopping and starting frequently. So here's the way the pattern goes on ni-u with an N like this. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. We got to pause between them. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. Ni-u, ni-u, ni-u. And if that's easy for you, then try ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. U-o-a. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. 2 more. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. Ni-u, ni-o, ni-a. Okay, so that is working onset and offset. Now we're moving on to agility, which just means doing fast notes. So this is important for a couple reasons, is to work on your ear, to work on how well you hear notes and how accurate you can be. It's really good for working on riffs and runs. So if you like to do contemporary music, this is a way to practice that. It's like classical riffing when we do this. And then it also works on the lightness of your voice because you can't weight it down if you have to do faster notes. So this is a pretty versatile pattern. You can use a lot of different vowels on this. We're going to learn it on an E vowel by itself. Here's the way the pattern goes. E. So it's 5-tone and then 9-tone. Okay, here we go. E. Keep going. E. One more. E. And if you got that, you now have to do E, A, Ah. So that means I'm going to change every 8 notes. You got to keep track. So listen up and try to do what I do. E, A, Ah. Changes every 8 notes. A, sorry, it starts on E. E, A, Ah. Notice that you see my teeth. Try to hold on to that. E, A, O. E, A, O. So I'm seeing a note about access to the sheet. It should be that if you go to that link, it should take you to this page. So I'm not totally sure why that's not working, but let me real quick try to get you a direct link to it. Okay. If you can't get it through the Facebook, you should be able to get it here. So that should take you there directly if you're having trouble. I'm going to move on just because we got 2 more to do. So sustaining your voice. It worked for me. Good. Okay. Well, you have a direct link too if you're confused. So here's the way we're going to do this with the sustaining. This is over a 10th. So it goes like this. And you hold out the top note. You can do it on oo or e. I'm going to demo it on e because it tends to be a little easier with a microphone like this to pick it up. So I'm going to do gee, gee, gee with the g sound, like the word gear or something like that. Gear, gee. Okay. So we're going to try it like this. Gee, gee, gee. So it's 3 G's. Gee, 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 2, 3, and then you just bring it on back down like that. Try it with me. Gee, gee, gee. Keep going. So gee. I'm going to play a few more, because when I sing this high, it maxes the mic out. So I'm just going to play a couple for y'all, but it's gee, gee, gee. One more if you got it. Cool. So that is sustaining your voice and obviously starting to stretch your vocal range a little bit more. With this one, if you got vibrato, you should let it in on the top note. So our last thing for the day is going to be to do dynamic, which means getting louder and softer. It's really easy to sing everything loud, so we have to practice being quiet, loud, and then getting back to quiet. This exercise is called mesa di voce. And so it's something, it was considered the hardest exercise in bel canto opera. It's a simple exercise to learn, but it's hard to master. You take one note, you start soft, you get loud, and then you get soft on that single note. So we're all going to start it right here on an oo vowel. So you're going to start as quiet as you can, you're going to get as loud as you can, and then you're going to go back to being as soft as you can. Let's try it together. Here we go. Again, start soft, get loud, and then get soft. I'll keep showing it with my hand as we do the crescendo, decrescendo. Here we go. Start soft. One more. Awesome. I am out of time, but I'm going to really quickly summarize these 8 things. So you got the links in there. I would go and try these exercises because the ones that are there, I played the accompaniment with a full piano, so it's a lot more full sound, and they're free for you. You can have it forever. It's just a way for you to practice to get some more discipline, and you're legit. So these are the 8 points one more time to remember. You got to start low pressure, lip buzz, tongue buzz, rolled R. You got to use oo and e first. They're the most head voice vowels. Keep your larynx stable. Italian vowels. Think about working on an Italian aria. If you know Caro mio ben, that's a great one if you want to learn one. Onset, offset. You got to stop and start. Agility. You got to do something with some runs in it. You got to sustain your voice with larger vocal range. And then finally, you got to do something with dynamics, which is just getting louder and softer. This was super fun to share with y'all. Thanks for being here. And next week, I'm going to do belting the same way, belting and mixing. I'm going to do the exact same thing for belt. A few key exercises for those vocal qualities. So if you're around next week at this time, I will see you then. Thanks so much. Have a good week. Bye.